Welcome to the ACS Technical Advisory Board podcast series, where we talk all things tech including data, cyber, AI, blockchain, and Internet of Things. Meet your host, Dr. David Cook, Vice President of the Australian Computer Society's Technical Boards. David is a technology advocate dedicated to advances and progression of computing and human-computer interaction. In today's episode, David will be talking with ACS Cyber Security Committee member, Richard Magalad. Join us as we discuss the merits of pivoting to a cyber career, how your previous role in another field may not be as dissimilar as you think, and what areas in IT and cyber we are lacking skilled workers in.
Today, I'm speaking with Richard Magalad. He's a 20-year veteran of IT, he's a networking professional, and he's an active member of the ACS National Committee for Cyber Security. Richard, welcome to the podcast.
Hello, and thank you for having me today.
I want to start with one question. I said, one of the issues, I guess, with cybersecurity in a very general sense is we have a lot of skilled migration, we have people coming into the country. Do we have a people problem in terms of cybersecurity? And if so, what is it?
Yeah, it's one of those challenges Australia, as a small country, have always faced. We simply do not have enough skilled people right now, even through coming out of the education space or bringing them in from overseas. It's one of those things where if we look at STEM, there's always someone who wants to go into science, someone wants to go into maths and engineering, and unfortunately, it's like a Hunger Games for us. We also need to attract the talent to go into cyber, and cyber being a specialist field in the tech industry, then it just narrows the field for us.
So is this something that we need to get back a little bit? We need to get people younger. Do we get people when they're in high school or in primary school? I mean, we need to prep people to be ready for I guess a cyber career, but I'm not sure
Yep.
they hear that in their younger years.
Yes, it's one of those things where the kids get excited over tech. If we look at what's happening in the high school area, they get excited over tech and robotics and so on. Programming is another one with software development. Then with cyber, we need to somehow make it look more trendy and cool so that the kids would get into that. There is no silver bullet. Yeah, I think it's one of those multifaceted approach where we get them young from education. We attract them from the TAFEs and the universities as well. But also, cheekily, if we can take them from other industries, that would be even better. Like I've met some people who do not come from the tech industry and they saw cyber as a way to pivot their career. And amazingly, people who were not technical and had no concept of cyber actually was like duck to water. They did exceptionally well because they found that there's a place for them to come in.
I think I hear this a lot, but a lot of people say that those people who reskill rather than upskill are actually better placed because they come with some understanding of something else and they apply it.
Correct.
And so they've got kind of a fresh approach, fresh eyes, but at the same time they come with a set of experience which is uniquely divergent from what we're just training people for.
Yeah, look, absolutely. The technology, admittedly, is transferable. That skill, that knowledge, you can learn it. It's the grinding of the person, that individual, to turn up on time, to do the reports and be methodical in the detail. You will see that in law, in accounting, in engineering, and I mentioned those three professions because they're the ones who seem to excel in cyber. But that said, we've met nurses and people who are bartenders and baristas who also have an acumen to that. And but what I find is the more mature they are, the better they perform, not as a cyber professional, but as a professional in general.
Yeah, yeah. Now, so if we drill down into the specifics of it, I wonder where the areas where we need to put. Do we need more tech analysts? Do we need more, incident response teams, or is it the case that we need more people involved in cyber governance?
Yeah, look, the answer is all of the above, really. These, if we look at the high profile data breach, in a lot of those cases, governance was a failing factor. And without the proper governance, then no matter how technical the personnel will be, then everything will always fail. At the same token, we still need the SOC analysts, we need the incident responders, we need that fine-tuning forensic investigators, that there's just not enough of them. And so if it's one of those things where government and industry and education combined should really get together and then just build more people, get more skill, feed them into the industry.
Now, you are an international cyber professional in that you've got experience in Southeast Asia,
Yes.
Laos, Cambodia, all over the shop. I wonder, can you tell us, is there a difference between what cybersecurity needs are in Australia and what it looks like in the rest of the world?
Sure.
And who's winning it? Is it a maturity issue? Do we have a more mature or a less mature
Yep.
set of responses? Where does it sit?
And I can only speak with the work that we're doing with Foreign Affairs and Trade at the moment. So the Australian mission is to engage in Southeast Asia and Oceania, so Fiji, Vietnam, and so on, Hong Kong, Philippines. The idea is we have a lot of smarts. We are so mature as a Western country, albeit when we're in the Asia Pacific region. We're so advanced that it's one of those things where we want to share the knowledge that we have. And when we go to the other countries, despite the fact that we in Australia think we're not doing a good enough job, even though we're doing a pretty good job, when you look at the other countries, it's quite surprising how far ahead we are to them. And there's things that we took for granted 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, you don't even see those in those countries. Hence, that the work that we're doing with those in those regions.
Richard, I want you to use your crystal ball now and project ahead. What's going to be, in 5 years' time,
Yep.
what's the biggest challenge for cybersecurity?
So I'm going to say it, and seems to be the hot topic at the moment, AI. I mean, it really is one of those things that keeps us awake from the defender's point of view, because we see that AI used by lesser threat actors will enable them to become more serious threat actors as well. The fact that they can come up with more sophisticated campaigns where previously they didn't have the money nor the personnel to come up with sophisticated attacks, AI just gives them that ability and augments them. It's a force multiplier for them. So in the same way that you would, if you're in the military, you would have advanced weapons to become a force multiplier. AI is that for them, and it may sound alarmist and so on, but until you really look behind the curtains and you see what's happening, then you start to see how it filters through down the track. The other one is there is the quantum computing, that is another issue as well. So we know that the Shore algorithm and the other algorithms that are designed to break the RSA encryptions that we have. Fortunately, NIST came up with a post-quantum resistant encryption as well. So that's a good future. But the question is, in this whack-a-mole world that we live, will we catch up in that 5 years to be ahead of the game? And unfortunately, my crystal ball doesn't go that far. Yep.
Richard Magalad, thank you for your time today.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you for having me.
To find out more about how the ACS is powering Australia's technology brilliance, visit us at our website, Facebook or LinkedIn. Want to get involved with the ACS technical boards? Email us at tab@acs.org.au and tell us a bit about yourself. Join us for more thought leadership, ideas, and information through our other podcasts on the ACS YouTube, Facebook, or on LinkedIn.